Now, many teenage girls are worried about their weight, but while most tried diets or exercise to get thin, Katie Hill took more drastic action. At just 14, she became the youngest person in Britain to be fitted with a gastric band. And while she's lost 9 stone, some say she's just simply too young to have the operation. Catherine has been to meet her.
2 years ago, visiting a shop like this would have been unthinkable for Katie Hill.
You know, as silly as it sounds, I couldn't get in, but I couldn't buy a belt because it didn't fit.
The 16-year-old is a 9 stone, size 10, but she used to be 18 stone and a size 26. So, at the age of just 14, Katie went to Belgium to have a gastric band fitted to her stomach.
I'm a completely different person. I mean, people know me now to be chatty, confident, loud, giggly, whereas before I didn't go out. I hated myself.
During the surgery, an inflatable ring is put around the stomach and then pumped full of fluid to create a little pouch above. Once food fills that pouch, the patient feels full and stops eating. But it's an operation few surgeons in this country would be keen to do on one so young.
Teenagers are going through so many different changes, and then if you perform an operation which requires strict adherence to a diet and also to various post-operative instructions, they may not be mature enough to follow them.
Katie opted for surgery after seeing her mother's weight drop when she had a gastric band fitted, and Mum has no regrets about allowing her daughter's op.
I know, and she's the proof now that I did the right thing. So, you know, it's proven it's a success. She's done far better than I have with it, which proves the younger the better.
Yes, I was young, but I was really big, and I'd been on diets like most of my life, like since I started school and stuff, and I tried and it didn't work, so this was the right way forward for me.
But Katie's transformation isn't complete yet. Next on the 16-year-old's wish list is a tummy tuck to trim her figure even further. Catherine Jones, 5 News.
Now, it used to be seen as a drastic measure, something only extremely obese people did to lose weight. But now gastric surgery is becoming increasingly popular. And with obesity costing the NHS more than £4 billion every single year, there are calls for it to be made more widely available. Catherine has all the details.
Fern Britton before and after her gastric band operation, showing the effect of surgery to limit what you can eat. But this is no longer just for celebrities and a handful of super obese. In the last year, the number of gastric band and gastric bypass operations done on the NHS has soared by 40%. This 22-stone patient is having a gastric bypass, keyhole surgery which will permanently leave her with a stomach only the size of a golf ball. As a result of this operation, this patient is likely to lose at least 1/3 of her body weight. And perhaps more importantly, it's almost certain her chronic diabetes will be cured instantly. As a GP, Ahmed is well aware of the risks of being obese, yet until he had a gastric bypass, he was so heavy his surgery's own scales could barely measure his weight.
All my diseases have gone. So, I mean, I feel great. I mean, it's fantastic. We are doing injustice to my patients if they have this condition, not to be this option being offered, because this is a miracle cure.
But there's a problem. Around 1.2 million morbidly obese people qualify for surgery under current guidelines, a figure rising by 60,000 a year. Yet only around 10,000 operations will be performed on the NHS this year. There is a shortage of surgeons, but also many primary care trusts are restricting access by refusing to pay for eligible patients.
Everybody who needs it should get it, because just improving patients' health in itself will pay for the cost of the operation, because these patients will no longer have diabetes, no longer have high blood pressure, and all these other conditions cost so much money to the NHS.
And there's another concern. Therapists report a scandalous shortage of NHS help with the psychological impact of surgery.
They've always used food to manage their emotional life. Then they come into hospital and we're taking that away from them. So by the time they leave hospital, they've lost a friend, a support mechanism, something that's really been there for them over the years.
A patient's health improves so dramatically that an operation like this pays for itself in around 3 years. But gastric surgery will only make an impact on Britain's obesity problem if it's more readily available to all those who could benefit.